I can tell people are getting annoyed. Some of you guys actually just want to skip the video. Please don't skip. We are almost done with the bad part. We are going to the nice part. Everything that goes inside the Bermuda Triangle never comes back. Bermuda Triangle is the enemy of planning, is the enemy of progress. I am telling you, I am warning you, and I'm cautioning you like a friend. Don't say I told you nothing. This is Winning Mind program, and I am JFK. Welcome to the program. Today we'll be talking about things that will make your plans fail. Now, let me begin by premising the program by saying that, when we plan, when we have plans, it is very hard for us to know if our plans are going to succeed or fail. Okay, usually when you are planning, you're hoping for the best. You're not planning to fail. You're not planning so that you can go and fail in the future. But now there are some things that when you see them present in your life, when you see them present in the course or in the process of planning, you just know I am headed for disaster. Number one thing you have to look out for, if you have no plan at all or if you have poor planning. Okay, so this is a no-brainer. If you don't have a plan, there's nothing to succeed there. If you don't have a plan, your plan will not succeed because you don't have a plan. You know what that cliche that if you have no plan, you are planning to fail? That if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail? That is exactly what we are talking about here. If you don't have a plan or you have a very shallow kind of planning, basically what you are doing effectively is that you are planning to fail in the future. So just to make sure that you, every day when you wake up, you have something to look forward to. Make sure you have a plan somewhere, somehow. Write something down and say, this is one thing I need to do, this is what I need to achieve. And again, at this time of your life, you must be able to know, you must have identified what your purpose is in your life. If you don't know what your purpose is in your life, please stay tuned. We are going to do a video on how to discover your purpose. And it's very, very simple, my people. It's so simple. You cannot fail to see your purpose. You cannot fail to discover your purpose because God has made sure that your purpose is so clear in your life. So make sure you have a plan, number one, if you are really planning to succeed. So that is one. Number two, when you have a plan, if you have something that you wish to achieve in your life, if you have a vision, if you have an idea, if you have goals to achieve, avoid talking too much. Number one, don't talk about your plans. Number two, don't talk too much. Do you know the difference between a shark attack and a dog bite? Okay, fine. A shark is big, a dog is small. A shark bite is big and lethal, a dog bite is small. But that's not what I'm talking about. You see, when a shark is attacking, it is so rare that a shark is going to attack and miss. You know why? Because when the shark is coming, the shark is so precise, the shark is so quiet. It is just underwater, looking at you, swimming, saying, okay, I'm going to eat this leg. I'm going to eat this leg. It doesn't talk to anyone. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't make noise in the water. It simply comes and it cuts off your legs or just take a chunk out of your stomach and then it goes away. The problem with dogs is that before a dog will attack a person, it will bark too much. There's too much noise and too much commotion. So a dog will come from 2 kilometers away chasing you and it will be barking. So even if you are not aware that this dog is coming, you will know it's coming and you will prepare, either pick up stones or pick up sticks. So the problem with the people who bark too much and they bite it little is that every time when you're talking about your plans, oh, I'm planning to do this next year. I'm going to the gym next week. I will be starting a new degree program next year. I will start a business. I'm getting a visa. I'm going to Dubai. Oh, you see, the problem of talking too much about these things is that every time when you are talking, you are alerting some people. You are alerting people who want to sabotage you. You are alerting people who hate you. So it becomes so easy for them now to start counter planning against you. So the problem is when you bark too much, you are basically sabotaging yourself. And we're going to talk about sabotage in a few minutes. So stop barking. Just do the biting. Be like a shark. Just be subterranean. Just move underwater. Do everything quiet. You see, I hate swimming in the ocean because the fact that I cannot see what is underneath, it gives me a lot of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I hate being in a place and I'm not aware of the surrounding. I must know what is up, I must know what is on the side, and I must know what is underneath, even under the ground. I wish to know exactly what is buried under there. Because it is so hard when you don't know exactly where and how you will be attacked. It becomes a problem. So that is the difference between a shark attack and a dog bite. In the process of planning, just make sure that you move like a shark. and bite like a shark. Number 3 thing you need to understand when you are planning, and if you see this thing happening, and if you see yourself planning but you have this thing present in your planning process, just to know your plans will not go very far. Just to know you have failed even before you began. The moment you start planning and executing your plans, but you are doing it so that you can show off, you are doing it for other people, to impress other people, or you want to do it to spite someone, you want to show your brother who said that you will not go very far, your primary teacher who used to insult you and say that you are good for nothing, your mother-in-law or your stepmother. If you are doing it for people, forget. Because you can never succeed for people. You can only succeed for you. You can only succeed as a person. People will benefit from your success. But when you are planning, when you are executing your plan, just to make sure that you are doing it because it's a calling, you are doing it because it's a passion, you are doing it because it's a mission or a vision, and you are doing it because it's something you want to achieve as part of your goals. Don't do it so that people can see. Now, to be fair, when you succeed, of course, people are going to know that you have succeeded because you cannot hide it. When you succeed, your mother-in-law and your grandmother and your stepmother who have been insulting you, they are also going to know that you have succeeded, and they will feel bad because they are bad people. Okay, I'm not saying your mother-in-law is a bad person. I'm talking about the other one, not yours. So when you want to succeed, when you are planning, do it for yourself. Okay, just do it for yourself. When the motive is right, when the intentions are okay, you will definitely succeed. But if you are doing it for others, if you're doing to impress some people, what can you do to impress another person? Let me tell you, people wake up in bad moods. People wake up when probably their husbands have beaten them or their wives have denied them some crucial stuff, and then they come with their moods, and you want to impress that kind of a person. It's not gonna happen. When you have a plan, do it yourself, and do it primarily for yourself. Others will benefit once everything is big and beautiful and successful. Together, thank you. Number 4 is what I just alluded to earlier: self-sabotaging. When you are sabotaging yourself, just know you can even stop planning, you can even stop executing. There's no shortage of people who want you to fail. There's no shortage of people who want to bring you down. There's no shortage of people who are sabotaging your life. So now if you join them in sabotaging yourself, just know you cannot go very far. And then you ask yourself, okay, but what is this sabotage? You know, if you watch soccer, there's something they call a known goal. It's when you score against your own team or you score against your own goalkeeper. And you see, when you score against yourself, the goal counts, and you might actually lose the game because you have scored goals against yourself.
Do absolutely nothing about it. Hang your head in shame. Kondogbia.
So that is self-sabotage. There are things we do in our lives. There are things we do when we are executing our plans, but actually we end up now becoming self-inflicted harm or self-defeating or self-sabotaging. Let me give you an example. Number 1, reckless spending or reckless use of money. So you have a plan, you have a project, you go for funding, or probably you just get a loan facility from the bank. But the moment you get the cash, instead of hitting the ground running and starting implementing your goals, you start now shining with the money. You're like, okay, no, just make it rain. Make it rain. We have money now. And then you start spending on things that you don't need. You start spending on the booze and babes. You start behaving like these big boys who own billions. No, you should never behave like a big boy if you're a small boy. And there's nothing wrong being a small boy, by the way. In terms of financial muscle, if you're a small boy, that is the best place for you to be at that moment. Enjoy the moment. Use the money judiciously. Use the money very cautiously. Use the money very frugally, if that's a word, I don't know. But just make sure that you use that money exactly for the purpose it was intended for. And then another example of self-sabotage is when someone now is trying to live beyond and way above their means. It's almost like the first one, but you see, the first one is reckless use of money. Probably you're giving your relatives and you're giving your friends because you are feeling sorry for them. But you see, you did not get the cash to share with your friends, okay? So it is different when you're trying to live above your means. Above your means means that you are a young man, but you want to live in a mansion with 12 bedrooms. Why? You are a young man in your 20s, but you want to live in a mansion with a movie theater. Why? You are a young man in your 30s, but you want to drive a vehicle which is driven by some old geezers who have accumulated and stolen from the government and stolen from NGOs. Why? Just live within your means. If you can afford just a Corolla, afford a Corolla. If you can afford to live in a village, live in a village. What matters is that you know what you're doing. You are sticking to your plans. You are going step by step, achieving progressively, gradually attaining your goals. That is the most important. Do not live above your means. That is self-sabotage. Another problem which also becomes an own goal is when people just want to enjoy themselves too much. You want to go and sip very expensive liquor. You just want to go and dine and wine in very expensive restaurants. And you are abusing alcohol, especially alcohol abuse. Abusing alcohol, drug abuse. That is something which is going to ensure that you cannot go far in your planning. That is something which is going to shatter your plans to smithereens. That thing, if you find yourself drinking and drinking too much, if you find yourself abusing drugs, saying, oh no, I need this for recreation. In fact, the Bible says that you should take this for your stomach. Oh, dear Timothy, my son, take this thing because of your stomach. My friend, I don't know what's wrong with your stomach, but if you have a problem with your stomach, please go to the pharmacy, get proper medications. Do not abuse drugs. Do not abuse alcohol. That is going to interfere with your planning. That is going to interfere with your life. That is self-sabotaging. Another example, probably the last one for now, because I can tell people are getting annoyed. Some of you guys actually just want to skip the video. Please don't skip. We are almost done with the bad part. We are going to the nice part. The last thing, avoid Bermuda Triangle. Avoid Bermuda Triangle. And people are asking, okay, what the hell is that Bermuda Triangle? So, is it Pacific Ocean or is it Atlantic Ocean? Is this triangle? Is that area which looks like a triangle? Apparently, no plane that flies over Bermuda Triangle makes it. No ship sails across Bermuda Triangle comes back. Everything that goes inside the Bermuda Triangle never comes back. Avoid Bermuda Triangle. Just make sure that you are focused on your goals, on your dreams, and your plans, and your visions. Avoid women at all costs. If you are a young man, please focus. If you are a married man, stick to your one wife. Ignore everything else. Trust me, everything is like everything. Bermuda Triangle is the enemy of planning, is the enemy of progress. I am telling you, I am warning you, and I'm cautioning you like a friend. Don't say, I told you nothing. Number 5, if you see this in your life and you have plans and you're trying to execute your plans, just know it is also a big problem. Limited or lack of knowledge. Limited or lack of knowledge. Just make sure that you acquire knowledge. Knowledge about what? Knowledge concerning what you're trying to achieve. Knowledge concerning your plans. Knowledge concerning your vision. Just to make sure that you convert yourself into an expert concerning that vision you have. Let's give an example. Maybe you just want to start a timber business, okay? You want to start a timber business, but also you want to go do logging, legally logging. So you must know, first of all, what kind of forest am I supposed to get the timber from? What kind of machinery do I need? What kind of people, the lumberjack or these characters who just go to cut trees? What kind of, how much money do I want? What kind of permissions do I want? What kind of vehicles that should move this timber from the forest? And how do I process this timber so that at the end of the day I can have a finished product? Knowledge is power. Anyone who has knowledge is always going to be ahead of the person who has no knowledge. Anybody with knowledge is going to have power over the person who has less knowledge. So just to make sure that you convert yourself into a dictionary, into an encyclopedia in your area of business, in your area of planning. Whatever you're planning to do, gather knowledge. Just invade Google, just invade YouTube, invade these AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, all these things. Just invade them and make sure you have enough knowledge. But also seek guidance, seek mentorship from people who have succeeded. Just make sure that you have enough knowledge. It is very, very important. If you lack knowledge and you're planning to go far, you will not go far. If you lack knowledge and you have goals, you may not achieve these goals. Are we together? Number 6, this one I'm very passionate about because I have suffered from this thing before, and when I talk about it, I become very passionate. It's called the procrastination demon. If you have a procrastination behavior, attitude, character, or demon, whatever you want to call it, This is an emergency. This is something you must attend to right now, immediately, even before we go very far. Start praying and start taking precautions. I am going to make a video on how to overcome procrastination. But for now, let me just tell you what procrastination is. Procrastination is when you defer an activity without any good reason. It's when you put off something and say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it the day after tomorrow, without having any good reasons. You need to understand when you procrastinate something. Let's say, for example, you want to buy, let me just give an example. So you want to invest in something and you have the money to invest today. And then for no apparent reason, because you are lazy, you simply say, okay, I'm going to do it next week. Let me tell you, by next week, the ground will have shifted so much, you may not even have that money. You may have money to invest today. If you don't do it today, your child might fall sick the day after tomorrow and you rush him to the hospital. And you know how hospitals are. You go there, the ER doctor says, okay, you have to pay $1,000. And then they put him in the hospital. They admit the child. After the child is admitted, now they say we have to run a couple of tests. Before you know, you have zero money. But if were you to invest yesterday when you were supposed to invest, I'm not saying your child will not have fallen sick. No, those are not related events, because what you do today is gone with the day. And I want you to understand that every day carries its own graces. Every day carries its own opportunities. There are angels who are supposed to come and carry your investments, carry your planning, carry your activities. So if you allow these angels to go without you doing anything and you say next week, just know you don't know which angel is coming next week. Maybe next week there is going to come an angel of death. Not your death, probably the death of your neighbor. And you're supposed to go and contribute, and this is going to take your time. So what I'm saying is, please never put off something that you can do today. Now, in one of our mentorship classes, someone asked me, what is the difference between procrastination and postponement? And that was a very good question, because when you postpone something, it's not the same as procrastinating something. Postponement means you are supposed to do something, but the circumstances beyond your reach or beyond your abilities have happened, and you are forced to postpone. For example, you're supposed to fly out of the country, and then you go, there's a problem at the airport, maybe there's no electricity or something happens and the planes are grounded. Maybe there's too much snow and the planes are grounded. You cannot fly out of the country. So you cannot say that you have procrastinated that flight. No, you are postponing the flight because that is a crisis. That is something beyond your capacity. You are not involved in the decision making. Basically, postponement means, let's say, for example, you're supposed to go somewhere, another example, and then you take a bus and there's a bridge connecting two cities. You find that the bridge has collapsed, and then the bus is forced to sleep on the other side of the bridge. You are not the one who collapsed the bridge. You're not the one who blew up the bridge. Okay, so that is beyond your means. That is beyond your reach. That is beyond the scope of your ability. So you are forced to postpone. But the procrastination, it means everything is within your power. You can go right now, but you say, oh, the sun is shining too much. Oh, probably there's too much traffic. I cannot go now. So that is procrastination. And let me tell you, people, if you find yourself having this problem of procrastination, just know it's a problem that you must deal with immediately. Number 7, and lastly, the lack of focus. If you have plans, if you have some stuff to execute in your life and you realize that you lack focus, you know, there's this condition called ADHD, attention deficit. You know, there are these people who can never focus on one thing. They are jumping from one thing to the next thing. They are all over the place. If you find that you have that kind of habit, just know you may not really win. You may not go very far with your plans, because this is going to ensure that your plans are completely shattered. Now, you need to understand, you should be grounded in your plans, in your passion, in your dream, in your ideas, such that you will not be blown away by every kind of wind. What do I mean by wind? You know, there are people who accommodate every nonsense coming from everywhere. So you have your idea. Let's go back to that timber business, and then you see someone talking from Canada and say, this is how we do logging, this is how we do timber business, and then you abandon your idea. You are in Africa, you abandon your idea which works in Africa, and you want to implement something which works in Canada. That will not work for you. As much as I say that you must seek knowledge, that you must consult, that you must seek guidance from mentors, what I did not say is that you must be the one to make the final decision. Remember, this is your plan, this is your baby, this is your future, this is your vision. the final decision must be yours. You cannot leave people to decide for you. Yes, gather information. Yes, gather knowledge. But at the end of the day, you must filter and see which one works for me in my situation and which one does not work for me in my situation. And then go on and make a decision that fits your own planning, your own vision, your own purpose, your own passion. I hope you've understood. Now, I have come to the end of my video today. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on Winning Mind program. If you find the value in what you are doing, please go ahead and subscribe, share the content with people who may need to hear this kind of content. Like, and before you go, leave a comment. Let's know exactly what you think about this kind of content, and let us know if maybe there are some things that we have left out in this video that you feel should also be part of the list. Thank you so much for listening. Keep winning. We love you. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.